y'all. Today we're at school. Can you see my new friend? Say hi, everybody. This is Hedgie the hedgehog. He belongs to Miss Davis and her son James, and he came to school today. So I thought we would read a story for our friends who are home. So hedgehogs originally come from Africa and New Zealand and Europe. They live in a forest and dig for worms and grubs and things like that. But of course, Hedgie is a pet hedgehog, so he's probably never been any of those places. I don't even know if he's been outside. He has a cage and food and water, and so he also has these really spiky quills. They're kind of like fingernails, but they are sharp, so that's why I'm wearing these gloves. He's very, very active today. Before he was just laying in his cage, kind of curled up in a ball, but he's been running around and having a big old time. So today we're going to read Hedgie's Surprise, and it's by Lambert. Have you ever heard that story by Lambert? So I'm going to put him in here real quick, and we're going to read. Okay, so Lambert read or wrote stories like The Hat and the Mitten and The Wild Christmas Reindeer. I love those stories. So Hedgie's Surprise. Once there was a speckled hen named Henny who laid an egg every day, only to have it taken by a little tomtin every morning. It all started because a tomtin got tired of porridge for breakfast. I wonder what a tomtin is. I've never heard that word. Have you? That's a good idea to keep reading and see if we can figure it out. So Lambert books, they have something called foreshadowing. You say that word, foreshadowing? It means that you're given an idea of what's going to come next. So in her book, she gives pictures that don't have any words or anything. And they kind of tell what's going on, what's coming up next. So you be watching for that while we're reading. Each morning the rooster crowed as the sun came up. Henny knew that Tomtin was on his way. So did the little hedgehog who lived nearby. The Tomtin always called out to her, "Henny, have you got a little yummy for my hungry, hungry tummy?" So we can see this person right here. So maybe a Tomtin is a person? I don't know. So there's the coop. The Tomtin climbed into the hen house, took Henny's warm, smooth egg, and ran off to cook it in his little kettle, sprinkle it with salt, and he gobbled it down. And then he fell fast asleep in the hayloft until the evening. Well, Tomtin kind of looks like an elf to me. What do you think? So that Tomtin, or elf, is coming to steal the eggs every day, and Henny is not happy. Henny didn't like that the Tomkin was taking her eggs, but she put up with it until one morning she saw Goosey come out smiling and bowing up with a stream of piping goslings following her. You can see back there in the back. So a female is called a goose, and babies are called goslings. So she saw the goose and the new goslings. They just hatched out. "Oh my," Henny clucked. "Where did all those little ones come from? My eggs are hatching," crooned the goosey goose. "Here comes the last one now." From that moment on, Henny wanted to brood and have her own peeping chicks. But how could she stop the Tomtin from taking her eggs? So remember, we've talked about chicks sit on eggs for about 21 days. So she's wanting to figure out how she can get the Tomtin to stop taking her eggs because she wants some babies. The next morning, when the Tomtin poked his head into Henny tried. She clucked, she pecked, she flew at him, but nothing stopped that hungry Tomtin from taking her eggs again. You see her? She's all upset, isn't she? What do you see? Can you see over here what's happening? That's little Hedgie with a strawberry. No eggs, no chicks, no peeping babies. Henny wailed so loudly that she woke up the little hedgehog. Her tears poured down on top of him. Puffa, puffa, stick, stick, Hedgie went as he crawled out to catch her. "Poor Henny, I've been watching that Tomtin take all your eggs. I'll help you trick him. we'll stop him. So they're going to come up with a plan, aren't they? They're going to work together. The next morning, when the rooster crowed, there was the Tomten. Henny, have you got that yummy yummy for my empty tummy? Henny and Hedgie were ready. The Tomten reached in for an egg, and he pulled out an acorn. Said Tomten, what is this? And off he went to try it. The acorn was tasty, but it didn't fill him up, and he woke up in the middle of the afternoon very grumpy. So that didn't fill him up, did it, that acorn? The next time the Tomten arrived looking for an egg, he found a bright red strawberry. It looked brighter than the acorn, so he ran off and cooked it. The strawberry was jammy and sweet, but it only filled him up just a little bit more than the acorn had, and he woke up even earlier. Can you tell what the pictures are? That's part of the foreshadowing too. The sun had just come up when Tomten was at the hen house again, his stomach roaring with hunger. Pushing Henny aside, he grabbed for an egg, only to find a delicious-smelling mushroom. He raced off to cook it, and as scrumptious as it was, he woke up with his little tummy growling for more. Cock-a-doodle-doo! The Tomten rushed in even before the rooster finished crowing. Henny, have you got something for my hollow tummy? This time he found a smooth, round potato, even bigger than the egg. He kicked it up quickly, swallowed it down, and went back into the hayloft. He woke up at sunset only half full, and the Tomten had had enough. Henny, he shouted, tomorrow I want an egg for breakfast, and nothing else. If I don't find one, I'll eat you instead. Oh my. Henny was so scared. The Tomten had been tricked by an acorn, a strawberry, a mushroom, and a potato. How could she fool him again? Don't worry, Henny, Hedgie told her. Now it's time for the surprise. And he whispered in her ear. All night, Henny waited on her nest and Hedgie on his. As soon as it began to get light, Hedgie gently covered his nest with straw and got ready for the surprise. What do you think? I bet you're right. That Hedgie's going to jump in there. Henny and Hedgie could hear the Tomten's stomach rumbling like thunder a whole mile away. He burst into the hen house, pushed Henny aside, and grabbed. Ow! He said. Puff, puff, stick, stick. He had clutched the Hedgie, all closed up in a tight little round ball with his needle-sharp prickles getting in his hands. Oh, you were right. He grabbed Hedgie, didn't he? Henny and Hedgie listened to Tomten as he ran home yelling. Thank you, Hedgie, Henny said, looking for her dear friend. I'm sure that Tomten won't be back here again for breakfast. But what I can't figure out is where you have hidden all my eggs. Just then, Henny heard a little peep, then another, and then another, out of Hedgie's nest. She looked over and she saw the straw begin to move. 5 little baby chicks peeped out from their shells and fluffed up and down. As Henny settled down with her babies nestled under her, the Tomten's mother was in the hayloft making breakfast for the hungry Tomten. What do you think he's eating? Porridge. Hedgie, 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 you are full of surprises, Henny called, as she led her baby chicks out into the sunshine. But the little Tomten didn't hear a word. He was sound asleep with his tummy full of tasty porridge. There's Henny and her babies. Oh, that was a sweet story, wasn't it? That was a good surprise. They worked together, and they put some things under there, and when that didn't work, they put Hedgie under there, and that scared him away, didn't it? I'll let you say goodbye to our little friend Hedgie. I don't know when he'll get to come to school again, so he's got some shavings on him. There he goes. He's a little more balled up. Say bye, everybody. We'll see you soon. I love you bunches. I hope you have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.